Good morning, everyone. My name is Eltimar, and we are going to be continuing our Let's Play of Disco Elysium. Where last time we found out where our gun was, sort of. We don't have it yet, unfortunately, nor our badge. So that's also not great. We have to go to the harbor and ask for Everett's help in getting the body down. That is our primary goal at the moment. It's 2:36 in the afternoon on our second day. There's a new person up here, but we can't talk to them. Who is that guy? He is giant. He's a wonderful hunk, apparently.
Your body betrays your degeneracy.
Yeah, Measurehead. His body totally betrays his degeneracy.
The young woman at the giant's side agrees. What do you mean, my body betrays my degeneracy?
You have succumbed to Al-Ghul.
His face contorts in disgust, as if he were smelling a dead rat.
You reek of it. An invisible sword of Al-Ghul emerges from your throat. You cannot see it, but others can. It is making the woman in my company sick.
You're right, I'm an alcoholic. Now I need you to cooperate with me.
No, you don't. You need to get another drink. Occidental Haplogroup B4 is done giving orders around here. The influence of the ham sandwich race is waning.
Does this remind you of somebody? The guy down there? That fat racist over there, I point to the racist lorryman. You're just him after pumping some iron.
Look at my craniology. I am the pinnacle of my haplogroup. The pink blob is a bad example, even of yours. It saddens me. You were once a noble and powerful race.
He pauses in melancholy reflection.
You gave the world eugenics, electricity, and powerful weapons of war like missiles and aerostatic aircraft. You made great gains in metallurgy, race theory, and statecraft. You dominated lesser cultures, like the deformed Hemians and the inexplicably potato-obsessed Quakers. But now your ascent to the genetic summit has halted. You are obsessed with sadness and with frivolous pop culture. You will be superseded. Isn't that right, babe?
It is, baby, yeah. You know it.
The situation is serious. Your people have probably killed a man.
Enough with this begging. You should leave the stage of history with dignity by inviting the other races to a great world war. Bring your troops to the Simonine Islands and to Boogie Street, and we will pulverize you. When you are gone, we will build a museum for you. The walls will be lined with bottles of Al-Ghul, your beloved beverage. Inside, we will store the odes to homosexuality you call art, and your microcephalic skulls.
Kinda just want to shoot this guy, he's an asshole. You could internalize Measurehead's race theory, it would enrich you. Rhetorically. Wouldn't that mean I would have to become a Seminese supremacist myself? Well, yes. Why, don't you want to be a Seminese supremacist? So what if you're not Seminese? You could be anything. We have a 3% chance of knocking him out. We have a really high chance of conceptualizing his ability or his ideology. Isn't Everett the union boss white? Don't be vulgar. White or not has little to do with this. The race enigma runs much deeper than that. He turns his eyes towards the harbor, seemingly bored with you. Yeah, but still you serve him. How does that factor into your life? Mr. Clare is a man of vision and means. He has the will to confront international capital, something your race naivistic communists never did. Also, to serve is noble. It takes discipline. Your petulant individualism has only contributed to your race failure. It is lax and moronic. Communism is pretty cool. Idiotic communism is the single greatest contributor to your race descent everywhere around you, the fruits of its failure to challenge the world order. individualism, rock and roll music, sexually transmitted diseases. Above all, rampant multinational finance still reigning large. Tell me, where have you gotten your love of pathetic communism from? He leans closer. Degenerate youth culture, rock and roll music. Got over disco, actually. Offshoots of the 70s people invented disco while having sex under the influence of cocaine. It's a shame upon my race, but what is done is done. I am not surprised you enjoy it so much. This has happened to many of the side products of the inevitable cultural victory of the 70s race. Okay, I'll ask, who are the 70s? The South Island race. Haplogroup A4A. We are the rightful masters of the Insulindian archipelago. We descend from the Areopagites of ancient Pericarnassus that arrived here 4,000 years ago, millennia before you. We are the future, that is all you need to know. So you're born and raised on the islands before you moved to Revachol? I am a descendant. The narrow streets of Olunpuir are with me in my genetic dreams. I see young 70s women walking into the grey mass on Ile de Fantôme, waiting on the Immaculate Conception from the Pale. So you did not come from the islands? No, he cranes his head. I have heard about it on the radio. So you're not really 70s, you're just from Revachol. I'm from Coron, he changes tactics, and no, it's not just in Revachol. The city is central to the 70s strategy. Spreading through its trade networks, our culture will dominate the world. You've heard enough about your phylogenetic secrets for today. You have extinction to come to in terms with... Think about it. Kim, what do you think about this? I think this racist is better than the last, but the next racist will be the really good one. That will be our lucky racist. He'll grant us 3 wishes. Your pedomorphic friend has quick wits. He leans into inspect a protruding occipital and an indented zygomatic bone. The lieutenant does not flinch. You should keep him close. The congenital defect of farsightedness does not render him a complete invalid. He still has the use of his mind. Know anything about this mug? He does not so much as glance at the object. Know anything about it? Stop showing me your pathetic cup. I have no interest in it. He has nothing to do with it. Wait, are you not with the Hardy Boys? I am not the first line of defense, I am the last. He looks towards the coast defiantly. In addition, these so-called Hardy Boys are an effeminate clique of bodybuilders. Their company is spiritually degrading. You pick up on something artificial in this tone, like he's putting on an act. This is unlike him. He's usually more himself. But you're all part of the Union. The Hardy Manlets are on the pay of the company. I answer to the Union alone, and I do this out of race heroism. Finance is an alien concept to the 70s. Now leave me be, I must luxuriate in the company of my woman. There's more to it. What have you got against them? Fine. They have recently fallen under the influence of a possibly sexually perverted female vagrant and a narcotics peddler. It's shameful. What do you mean? Go find out for yourself, endomorphic blob. Interesting. The lieutenant takes a quick note. What are those tattoos of yours supposed to mean? Racists are generally not very good at examples of their race. He gestures towards the lorryman down on the street. Welcome to Revachol, you hear him yell at a red-headed woman visiting the Freet nearby. You must think redheads are immigrants. I'm not like them. I am craniometric perfection. I have taken the trouble to permanently draw a phrenologic grid on my skull and features. This should dispel any doubt. Are you sure I'm not craniometrically superior to you? You exhibit forward. Protection of the jaw, indicative of schizophrenia and sexual inaccountability from a purely aesthetic standpoint. The dimple in your jaw makes you look like a baby. This is not craniometry, just an observation. What else? It's impossible to see any more of your bone structure. It's covered with the ravages of Al Ghul. From what remains of your features, I can see fleshy lips, baldness of the head, and long limbs relative to lower limbs. This leads me to conclude you are not a police officer, you are a common criminal, an offspring of murderers and sailors from the Sur la Clef and Vesper, and possibly even the degenerate sheep herders of Ubi. Interesting, so one of my ancestors was Sur la Clef and the other a Vesper? Your racial heritage is uninteresting. It is the same as all Revacholians. Your parents and their parents made the decision to reproduce while under the influence of Al Ghul. That is the only reason you are here. Don't be such an asshole to your fellow dock worker. The man looks at you, silent and unmoving. His eyes burrow into the remnants of your soul. You are not Santiago. Santiago is not you. Even the frenetically impaired can see this. Holy god, that dude is super racist. Can I go past him, actually? We can't go past him. We need to, like, buff up our physical skill. I should just hit him with a crowbar, maybe, although chances are I would die. I haven't had very good luck hitting anybody with anything ever in this game. Our physical abilities are, like, really bad. Where was I going? Oh, right up here, I think. then I go down here. I kind of just want to hit that guy, like, really hard. I think he would kill us, though. While I don't believe in race superiority, that dude is physically way superior to us, just in terms of strength. He would crush our head like a melon. He's like 7 feet tall of muscle. We are maybe like 6 feet tall of fat and alcohol. He's not wrong with our alghoul addiction. Alright, let's go talk to the typewriter dude. Everard, we need help taking down a body. Can you know, make that happen?
Mr. Dubois, every worker?
He leans towards you, waiting for you to complete a sentence. An organ in the great state organism of war. Also, looks just like me.
Why the hell not?
He chuckles merrily.
How can I help you today?
He chuckles merrily. Can you help me get a dead body down from a tree? You might have noticed there's one hanging on a tree behind the hostel cafeteria. Oh my, he smiles pleasantly. Don't take this personally, but why would I get involved in this matter? Mr. Clare, the man was hanged with a cargo belt, a steel reinforced cargo belt. It's safe to assume the murder had something to do with, or the Union had something to do with the murder. Besides, getting the body down would benefit all of us. It's a stain on the neighborhood. Also, I studied the footprints at the crime scene. Worker boots. I can certainly see how having him up there might start affecting some real estate values. He licks his fat lips and smiles. But all joking aside, I am going to help you. He picks up the handset of the radio phone to his right, then clicks a button. Jean-Luc, my boy, I'm sending 2 police officers down. They have a dead body in a tree problem they need help with. Namely, they need it to be taken down. And John, please take it easy with the race science. That's a yes to getting the body down, no to the race science. He hangs up and turns back to you. You'll find Jean-Luc down by the gates. He turns back to you. He's the big impressive one. You know, tattoos, muscles, ethnic looking. Can't miss him. Great guy. I did it Everett. I made it even shadier. What? The man looks at you surprised. The brew, the shady brew. Oh, how could I forget your little side project? Well done, Harry, well done. Don't even tell me what it was, but good job. I love it when workers take the initiative like this. I'm leaving now. Oh. Okay then. Thank you, Bear, for that. At least it wasn't a loud ballistic dog, it's just one bark. It's because the sun came up, and now he's grumpy. Because I think it woke him up. What a dumb dog. Cute, but dumb. Wait, hold up. Did we ever loot this? I'm gonna have to pause. He was barking at things. Ooh, the gloves. Or no, it's yeah, Ultra Series gloves. +1 half light. Don't know exactly what that does, but sure. So far I haven't seen any of our comrades. Things light up, so hopefully we haven't missed any more conversations. I know I've missed 1 conversation or 2 possibly now with him. I'm trying to keep an eye on him though. It's very like off-centered on my screen. Like it's very low left. I have a large... I should have a smaller monitor, then it might be easier to see. Oh, that sound is like the most painful thing. Let's get some more money. Every worker, member of the board is written on the top of the flyers. Below the flyers, the Union logo and a demanded democracy. This is a Dewey typewriter. The model name is on the back. Did we ever open this? Oh, right, yeah, we did. Hang on. Is there anything else there we needed to look through? Anything interesting? No. Look at that note. No, nothing else there. Alright. Okie dokie, where are we going now? Back down, all the way to the bottom. We gotta find Jean-Luc. Tattoo, big dude. Is this Jean-Luc?
Bastards! We have a right to work!
The man yells towards the harbor gates. His voice is loudest of the lot, and oddly screechy for a man his size. I am the law!
Yes. People get that you are the law. You really don't have to keep saying it.
Pull up and stay frosty, everyone. Cops are here.
The broad-shouldered alpha male turns to you. He's a full head taller than everyone else here.
Here to fuck with us? Be the honest worker down?
No.
Good. We're fighting for a cause here. Right to work. Right to work.
He chants at the gates.
Besides, we're not that different. It helps the people see us talking. Cops and strikebreakers together. Shows authorities are on our side. Builds confidence.
What kind of cause are we talking about here?
Rights of people, rights of workers to have gainful employment, to make a salary, and feed their families.
His manner of speaking is wooden. the tone of a bland and uninspired, almost as if compiling replies from a set of learned phrases. Regardless, I have some questions for you.
Maybe you should ask them the questions. Like why we're not allowed to make a living here. Shame on you!
He bellows to the gates.
We have families to feed, you piece of shit!
He points his finger at the man sitting on the railing.
So do we, Scab.
The loitering man hollers in return. What exactly is your goal here? We were promised work, he points to the gates. We'd be in there working if the bastards hadn't shut the gates. And you're unable to breach the entrance? Main gate's locked. Would take heavy ordnance to bust it open. Could try to get through the secretary's office. He points up the stairs. Door's locked. The guard's blocking our way to the access panel. And I don't mean the scrawny mesk punk either. He points to the dock worker idling on the staircase. I mean head measurer or whatever he is. Wait, head measurer? Yeah, that giant up there on the bridge you talked to. Head measurer. Won't let the workers by. The access panel is right behind him. How bad can one guy be? You seem capable. Bad, the man glares at you. Standing on a narrow bridge, he's got a strategically advantageous position, and he's trained. I don't know how Union has a trained killer up there, but that one's no joke, and my men are tired and hungry. They're workers, not fighters. Have you considered storming in, like all of you? Why don't you go and arrest them instead? I'm sure they've done plenty of criminal shit. They have that look. It would be better for the neighborhood if you went home, at least for now, if you can't get in anyways. No, they'll give up eventually, or get drunk, leave the button unguarded, then we charge. The man rubs his jaw, a perfect lightly bearded square wedge. Alright, I'm gonna go now. Which one of you is John Luke? Do you think he's the one up top? He could be the one up there. Let's go find out. He is the race dude, so maybe it was him.
Your race descent has only
It is him.
worsened since I last saw you. You have really let yourself.
Everett told you to help us get the body down from the tree. So it was you. You surmounted the harbor wall in a display of athletic prowess to reach my superior, then had him give me an order. I salute your cunning, and I will remove the body from the tree with my bare hands. You're so noble, Measurehead. There's a but. But while I am gone, someone must stand guard on the bridge. That someone needs to be you. He turns to Kim. Both of you. Okay, fine. Babe, see that they stay here the whole time. I mean, we do have a crowbar, so that's kind of nice. I have a feeling this is going to go really badly for us, but whatever. You know what? It'll be good. Nothing bad ever happened by guarding a bridge with no physical skills. The woman's gaze follows Measurehead as he leaves. So you guys are like cops or something? Yeah, we're the law around here. Cool, I like men with guns and power. The woman twirls her hair. I'm Katya, by the way. You hear that? The lieutenant looks towards the yard. That sound, he's breaking something. Yeah, John Luke must really be tearing it up over there. I wish I could see it. I also wish I could see it. Look at you, RCM Rent-A-Cops. A loud voice booms from below, guarding the bridge like Everard's lapdogs. Is this where it is at now? The RCM's for sale? And who are you? The lieutenant fires back. What's your business here, and why are your clothes 4 sizes too small for you? Yes, I'm an unbelievably corrupt cop. I'm corrupt every opportunity I get. A shrill laughter interrupts you, echoing across Martinez. It's Kuno, then. The man turns to look behind him, at the behemoth appearing around the corner, approaching him, walking past him. Dude is huge, for real, though. The corpse has been removed from the tree. He brushes wooden flakes off his hands. Stand down and congratulate yourselves. You have sided with a race victory today. There's been no side choosing. We did what we had to do to keep order. He nods slowly, and what you had to do was to become a Union man for all to see. We need more physical prowess. Even with our physical instrument, we only have a 3% chance of knocking him the hell out. And that is not enough percent. It's already 332. See, they should have swarmed him when he was walking down there. That would have been better. If they were really serious about the strike, the moment he left his strategically advantageous spot, you could have taken him down by swarming him and killing him. Hi, Kuno. Why are you huddled in the middle of the woods?
You missed it at show before.
I
The
hate
kids
him.
came by, completely fucked a tree to pieces.
God, I hate you.
He fucked the tree up. Fucked it good. It was porno.
Okay. Total retards use language like that. Congratulations, Kuno, you just made yourself a retard. Stop choking, Kuno. The Fagari's got you in a chokehold. Kuno's not fucking choking. He grabs his throat like he's choking. Choked you out there. Serves you right for using reactionary shit. Like, fuck you, dude. He lets go of his throat. Kuno's gonna keep saying kip forever now. Kip, kip, kip. He only gets 2 kips out before he coughs. Shit, he stops. The fuck did you want anyways? You got your fuck bag down. Now let's talk normal shit. Oh, now you want a normal conversation? Yes. Yes, Kuno wants a normal conversation. He even sounds a little plaintive now. Ask normal shit, please. Alright, let's discuss the body again. Fuck about it. Where's the rest of his armor? Kuno doesn't give a shit about the armor. How come? Kuno's fuck gimp's got one big thing wrong with him. He's a fucking mutant. A mutant? Look at him, he points to the body. Fucking growth hormone shit. He's a giant. The armor's way too big for any man. He drills his temples with his fingers in some strangely aggressive gesture. Kuno doesn't give a shit about that freak armor. Kuno threw that shit away. What do you mean threw it away? Kuno tried to get the helmet on. It was too big. He performs a kick-off of the imaginary helmet. Kuno kicked that shit out in the sea, rugby style. That shit means nothing to Kuno. You threw it in the sea? Yeah, that shit means nothing to Kuno, he repeats. Kuno doesn't give a shit about material shit. Kuno's a fucking monk. You wanna fuck on about that armor? Go talk to the mustache union fuck, the jolly troubadour shit at the gates. Who do you mean? Yeah, cock and boots. You know the jolly union cow fucker? Came around talking like about cows or some shit? Came around pretending like he cares about cows? Yes, you met him at the gates. The one with the boots and the jolly smile. You mean Manana? Yeah, he's the one I want to talk to. He's fucking crazy about that armor shit. Coming here pretending like he likes cows, trying to catch a peep at Kuno's armor. Curious, my liege, why did Kuno feed you this information? And you're just telling me this out of the kindness of your heart, Kuno? Yeah, Kuno's doing charity today. Kuno's day. Kuno feels sorry for you 2 loser pigs. Kuno's doing pity now. Still suspicious. He may have had it in for that guy, or he may be paranoid. That's also a possibility, sire. There are contusions all over his body. Did you do that? The fuck are you talking about? What's this concussion on shit? He grabs his head like it's suddenly hurting. He says you're stupid, Kuno. They want to make you stupid again. A contusion is a bruise. I'm talking about the marks your stones left on the corpse. Oh, Kuno made your shit sniffing harder? Obstruction of shit sniffing? He lets go of his head, suddenly feeling better. This is Kuno's kingdom. Kuno fucking rules here. You hear the lieutenant. Alright, let's talk about your shack one more time. Nothing about that. Who is Kuno? Kuno's Kuno pig. The boy points to his chest with both thumbs. It's always Kuno, never I. Clearly the kid is using the third-person perspective as a shield. Interesting, you refer to yourself in the third person to distance yourself from the situation? Kuno doesn't do that smart shit. He seems offended. Don't throw that book shit at Kuno. Kuno knows you're lying. Trying to get Kuno hooked on the book. Watch out, Kuno. He's trying to fiddle you. He's gonna put his hands on you. Oh, right. That thing behind the fence starts squealing, shrill and violent like a fire alarm. The sound grows louder as the child shouts at the windows overlooking the yard. Help! Pig's got Kuno! Help! Rape! Help! The boy does it. He's got Kuno! Help! Everyone can hear. You need to get the hell out of here before... I'm just gonna leave. Yeah, get out of here before Kuno beats the shit out of you. Yeah, that's right. Drag your fat ass out of here, fat boy, before Kuno fucks you. Bang! Got fucked by the Kuno. You hear him say as you walked away. We all right. You wanna get fucked again? Come back. God, I hate Kuno. He is the worst character. The corpse lies on the ground amidst the remains of an absolutely demolished pinewood branch. It's gently laid on one side. It's beautiful. I wipe a tear from my eye. Mr. Measurehead has done a good job. The lieutenant nods approvingly. Nothing is too broken or compromised. The victim is ready for a field autopsy. A field autopsy? Yes, he covers his nose and lists 1. Investigation of the scene. 2. Initial examination of the victim. 3. Field autopsy. 4. Transportation of the body to the morgue. Or number 3. There's Sim's 4-phase murder scene and processing manual. What the fuck are they on about? Cop's gonna cut his shit up. Do we have someone else to cut his shirt open? It's not about cutting, he squints to the court. No, you and I are detectives. The honorary rank of detective signifies our ability to handle the entire incident chain, from autopsy to cleanup to social work. Wait, honorary rank of detective? An honor and a burden attached to your rank once you've proven yourself, usually after 5 to 8 years of field work. Mine is lieutenant detective. Yes, I do feel like I'm a detective. You are. Your station would not have assigned you to this case if you weren't. Now. He adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath. Oops. Shoot. I hit something. Oh, I left the body. Whoops. Alright. We're gonna autopsy him. First of all, what exactly is a field autopsy? Come on, officer. He pulls on a pair of latex gloves. You know what a field autopsy is. You've done 100 of them. What you do know is, at 18.9 kilometers, the dormant shield volcano, the Corpus Mundi, is the world's highest summit, and the failure of the 38 single Autopsy de Sang or aptly sang. To grab the top 20 was the death knell of disco. What a field autopsy is, you have no idea. I clapped my gloved hands. Well, let's get in there. There truly is a time for everything, even yellow gardening gloves, he nods approvingly. However, they are lacking hygienically. I suggest you get in there in a limited capacity. Alright. I'll ask you when I need you to. For the most part, maybe I should handle the contact and you take notes. Where should I take these notes in my paperwork? Yes, you see, he points to the bright red pages at the end. The field autopsy form is the one on red copier paper. Can I remove the boots now? Thought we decided to leave it to processing. The lieutenant said, let's not turn this into some kind of circus. Damn it, this is turning into some sort of mega puzzle. Alright, I open my ledger and to the field autopsy form. The dead man stares in silence as you crack open the ledger. The bright red paper is covered in boxes and lists describing the condition of his skin and organs in 3 parts. Above those, an 11 field info form needs filling out. First, it begins with number 1, assistant. That's you, Harry Dubois. The corpse is indifferent to your scribblings. It just lies there. The next box says coroner's case number. He has that number ready. KK Kitsuragi, 57 precinct, followed by his date, 0803, time of arrival 0815. He's indexed the case after himself, not you. That's because he doesn't want to bring up the messy question of your initials. Shouldn't we file the coroner's case under me, technically, since I arrived at the scene before you? And what would that make the alphanumeric? I have no idea. I do. Okay, it just says the same thing again. Okay. Next. NA next date of birth, NA age. The man corrects his glasses. Roughly 50. Try 40. The damage is so extensive it's better to err on the young side. I'm gonna write approximately 42. He nods. Race. Mondial. Fair to olive skin from the Isla of Mundi. This is as vague as it gets. You might as well say whitish. Write it down. The pudgy mess of curdled meat looks neither Mondial nor anything other. Sex. Fucky, the little monster exclaims energetically. Male. Pig's gonna have sex? Right, male. Nor does he look male with his pregnant belly and indistinguishable face. Date of death. We're still gonna go with March 4th, 51. What else? He looks over your shoulder. Body identified by is not applicable. Case number is the same as the coroner's case. KK 57050380815 listens motionless, with the cargo belt still around his neck. Only 1 box remains. Evidence of treatment. None, at least not after the initial examination. I agree. Lividity pointed to a lynching. Then again, the right lividity is easy to produce if you know what you're doing. He places a hand on the man's chest as if in preparation. Your central nervous system recognizes this gesture. It's the stations of the breath. Ecclesiastic, religious in nature, a holdout from the pre-Delorian burial rites. It takes 2 seconds to perform them. Then, somewhere in Jamrock North, a small wood shack, or shed beneath Rosencrantz Row, Lieutenant Nick Furbach puts his hands to the chest of a small corpse, no larger than a monkey. It's raining outside. Light drizzle. There's darkness in the shed. Elsewhere yet, an obese female sits in a wicker chair, her silhouette ball-like against the window. Outside Grand Coron, the day is turning dim for Sergeant Mac Torson. Hand extended, he approaches to make sure she is dead more than anything else. So all across Jamrock, Coal City, GRIH, 42 deceased persons found today, 42 stations of breath. We should start the post-mortem. Let's turn the page. The corpse cannot feel Kim's hand on his chest. It no longer meaningfully interacts with its surroundings. A thicket of boxes lists on red copier paper tries to answer why. External examination summary. Clothes, he begins. The deceased wears armored boots and white briefs. The make of the briefs is Bobardine, I think. Let's see, he turns the body onto its side to check the underwear label. It's happening. Bobardine, yes, inexpensive. Size M, color white. The disappointment is palpable. The red-haired thing was expecting something more lurid. Write it down. The boots are ceramic, vitreous enamel. They're fused to his skin from blood flowing downward post-mortem. Removal of the boots is left for processing. It would be clever of you to omit the boots altogether, sire, if you're to keep them for yourselves. As you ought to. You deserve them more than anyone else. Omit the boots. The man's boot has a serial number. He twists the dead man's foot. It's E50 100 1000. The lines between the plates are in the shape of the alphanumerical. The number is purposely concealed by the design. Write it down. Tattoos, he stands up, feet planted on either side of the body. The upper torso is covered in a single continuous tattoo resembling a microelectronical circuit board. It reaches from the right shoulder to the heart. The ink is blue and white. The assistant has a color photograph of the markings to be added to the case files as document A1. The photo is taken on the scene using a Tricat Mini. Write that down. The deceased has a belt for airlifting cargo around his neck. tied with a hangman's knot. Color yellow, length 3 meters. There's a buckle on the other end. Write that down. He produces a measuring tape, well-nourished, athletically built, measuring 1.8 meters, generally consistent with age 42. Preservation is good, ambient temperature below freezing. Write that all down. Body hair is light brown, distribution is consistent with age. He kneels in to get a better look. The deceased had male pattern baldness. His hair is combed back, short. I write it down. Short, light brown, male pattern baldness. Lividity is consistent with hanging. The chest is congested. Contusions are present on the head, chest, and thighs. Consistent with stones thrown post-mortem. Low velocity. Fucking low velocity, chink chunk. The kid explodes. You think Kuma doesn't know what you're talking about? Velocity was fucking max. Talking shit about Kuno's velocity. Lieutenant pays no heed. In addition, there are bite marks on the face, scalp, and chest, consistent with predation. Write down. Ligature mark. The lieutenant produces a small folding knife. With the other hand on the belt, he starts cutting into the polyester. The stench is horrid. After a while, it's obvious the material cannot be cut. The steel wiring, he concedes breathless. There's too much of it. We need to remove the belt so we can get to the ligature mark. You got the right tool for that. The chain cutters. Oh yeah, I'm prepared. Chain cutters. The hangman lets out a joyous bubble of rot from his nose. Good thing we got these chain cutters. I pull out the rubber cutters. Always good to think ahead. Now, he points to the rope, squeezing the dead man's neck. We need to cut the belt to see the ligature mark. Carefully, with as much precision as you can. See? My pig's gonna fuck his head off. No, he ain't. See, looks blast. Your pig's a boring fuck. We have a very low chance. Let's look for a good spot to cut. The belt is equally tight around the whole circumference of his neck, swelling over the edges like white bread rising from the yeast. The knot is the weak spot. The chain cutters fit there, steady now like a flower arranger. 2 cuts and it should come loose. Please work. Nope. You jam the cutters under the knot. That seems like a smart idea. Yeah, somewhere there. Already they're buried deep in the man's flesh. Then you rotate them to get a better hold, then rotate some more. Really bad smell is coming from there now, and some kind of cracking sound. Enough, cut. Yeah, fucking fuck that Fagari corpse fucking time. Told you my pig was hardcore. He steps in and takes the chain cutters from you. I should have a go before. I think I have a strategy. Let him work. He sinks the cutters into the knot, prepared to perform the cuts with his elbow to his knee for precision. Snap, the knot is slashed, another cut, and the belt falls apart like flour. Okay, revealing the dead man's neck and the dark red ligature marker around it. Here he hands you the chain cutters back and then kneels closer to the body, running his fingers along the dark red groove until he comes to a gap. The rope rises to a point, leaving a gap in the ligature mark. The suspension point is in the back of the neck on the nape. Hemorrhaging is observed on the skin above and below the ligature mark. The mark is well pronounced, consistent with a drop from 1 or 1.5 meters. Write it down. Chest is intact. He presses down on it. Normal contour. Abdomen is protuberant. Pelvis intact. Genitalia. He pulls down the man's underpants. Now it's gonna happen, see? Fucking knew it. Genitalia is male and unremarkable. No evidence of injury. I inspect the genitals. The man's penis is average sized, congested from the downward collection of blood. His testicles are uneven in length, hanging underneath. The genitalia is greenish. Marbling is present around the crotch. Write it down. Move on. The back is symmetrical and intact. He struggles to turn the corpse onto its side. Upper and lower extremities are intact but asymmetrical. There are hip combat injuries on the right hand, hip, and thigh. In addition, I see smaller residual scars, too numerous to count, covering 30% of his skin. From wounds sustained over 2, maybe more decades, dispersal and accumulation indicates long and active combat duty. This scarring is extensive, way more than a law official's. He nods. We have a real museum here, of battles, wars. Write down. Last item, hands. He takes the man's right hand in his and inspects it, then moves on to the left hand. I pick up the hand. Yes. The hand feels heavy, filled with decay liquids, like it's ready to explode if squeezed hard enough. You're suddenly repulsed in which you feel compelled to drop it. Hands are clean, the lieutenant says, as 5 cold sausage-like fingers slip from your hand. No sign of injury from struggling. Were we expecting any? I was. Maybe I'm just not seeing them. Honestly, the stench is making it hard for me to think at the moment. Write it down. Ooh, he turns to the side to breathe. It's not enough. He buries his face in the sleeve of his jacket. You hear a muffled voice. That's all for the external. Well done. What's next? We're gonna do the rest in a minute. Our thought complete is rigorous self-critique. Can't even talk today. Here it is. Hard facts from the man you are. You once jerked off in the locker room and were caught. You held a young woman by the arm and kept her in your apartment for 20 minutes against her will. That's right. These are not flights of fancy. These are real deeds. Harry emerging from the darkness of your past. You tried shooting a fleeing suspect in the foot, but hit him in the pelvis, crippling him for life. And above all, you let life defeat you. All the gifts your parents gave you, all the love and patience of your friends, you drowned in a neurotoxin. You let misery win, and it will keep on winning until you die or overcome it. Int and Psi red check failures heal on morale. physical and mote red check failures heal 1 health. Learning cap for pain threshold is raised to 6. We have no new thoughts to do. That's disappointing. We need more. I guess that means we can throw something into here. We can only put 1 point into physical instrument, and it's not really worth it for us. I do want to beat that guy up, but I think that would be the worst idea in the world for us. What could we put our points into? Our physique is so terrible. Do we have 2 skill points? I think we do. Okay. Well, we'll look at what skill checks we need and then we'll figure it out at that point. For now, though, we're going to end the video. We're at 35 minutes. So, like always, if you have any suggestions or comments, please leave them below. Otherwise, I'll see you next time. Take care.